delegates are called to this convention for the purpose of endorsing a Republican candidate for the State House, District 116, at 7 p.m. at the West Haven Town Hall on Main Street in West Haven, Connecticut.
Right, obviously, there's been a problem with the room. We were scheduled for room A, which is printed on here. They called yesterday and said that we were relocated to the council chambers, and as you heard Steve say, that we cannot get into that. So apparently this room's open, and that's why we're here right now. Okay, temporary secretary will read the call of the delegates. Temporary secretary will read the roll of the delegates, please. Yeah.
Okay, first delegate in the 116th, myself, Rich DePalma, 231 Daytona Street in West Haven, and the second delegate is Al Calandrio at 657 Front Avenue in West Haven, Connecticut.
Thank you.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. Just a question. The secretary of the convention is also the secretary that will potentially be nominating himself for the position for state representative?
No, he cannot nominate himself, Steve.
All right, so is potentially going to be voting for himself as the
We'll
as
get
a
to that
candidate
once we
for
get
state
through the
representative?
rules. Once we get through the rules, we'll get to that. The next thing I'm going to do is appoint the Rules and Credentials Committee. I appoint Steve Mullins, Kathy Vergati, and Joe Del Franco. And we're going to take a recess as they go and discuss the rules of this convention. Order a short recess.
Is there anything in the rule setting saying that he's supposed to be a secretary as well? Is he allowed to?
The question is whether or not the candidate can be the secretary for his own convention?
Send me a letter or email tomorrow.
Rule number 3 says no candidate may place his or her own name in nomination, nor may any candidate second his or her own nomination. Each candidate shall be allowed to designate in writing people other than the delegate or alternate to make either a nominating or a seconding speech. But there's nothing specific that I'm aware of that would prevent Richie from being the permanent secretary. Discussion?
Wednesday of the month. One of the commissioners will go.
Hearing none.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? So carried. Do I hear any endorsements for the 116th State House seat representative?
I nominate Richie DePalma for state rep.
I second it.
Point of order.
You gotta read the rules first. That's what you're about to say. You haven't read the rules.
You haven't read the rules, and another thing is, are you allowed to take nominations from the floor as well? That was never
Yeah,
specified.
the rules, I would say yes, would be allowed. Absolutely.
I'll confirm the rules to indicate you can take nominations from the floor, yes.
Yes. Absolutely. Okay, so what's the, again, there's been a nomination from the floor.
Point of order,
Nominate
Mr.
Richie
Chair.
DePalma.
Point of
It's
order,
been seconded.
Mr. Chair, the rules have not yet been read. The rules need to be read.
Mr. Mullins was on the Rules Committee. He said we accept the rules as written.
And that
We
would be
had
fine. That would be fine. But if you look at the proper agenda, after the rules are accepted, they
Sir,
have
are
to be
you a
read.
Republican? Are you a registered Republican in this
Do
city?
you have any information that
Are
would
you a
dispute
registered
that?
Republican in this city?
Yes, I am. Do you have any information to dispute that, sir?
My understanding is that you resigned from the Republican Party and became an unaffiliated.
Are we going by the registrar's roles, or are we going by your understanding, sir? The correct order is after the rules are accepted, the rules are read for everyone in this room to understand and to follow. So you cannot take nominations until the rules are read. And then there's a vote on the rules. If you got a copy of Robert's Rules of Order, it'll be addressed there, okay?
Sir,
Know what the rules are. and we should continue along with that, right? And no one knows what the rules are, even the candidate himself. Therefore, the rules should be read out loud.
All right, so, Mr. Chairman, just, why don't you please read the rules that have been approved?
Well, I'll let the Rules Committee do that, sir.
All right. Kathy, would you read the rules? You don't want to read the rules? All right, take care of this. The rules are as follows for district conventions. The convention shall be governed by the rules of parliamentary practice contained in the 11th edition of Robert's Rules of Order, newly revised. Whenever they are applicable, except insofar as the following shall include conflict with or any other way change said rules. Only one nominating speech lasting not more than 5 minutes in length on behalf of any candidate for any endorsement shall be permitted. 2 seconding speeches lasting not more than 2 minutes in length shall be permitted. No candidate may place his or her name in nomination, nor may any candidate second his or her own nomination. Each candidate shall be allowed one designate in writing. People other than a delegate or alternate to make either a nominating or seconding speech. The chair shall declare nominations closed when there is no response to the request for further nominations. A motion to close the nomination shall not be in order. In the event that only one person is nominated for endorsement, there shall be one single motion for the unanimous endorsement of that candidate. In the event that 2 or more persons are nominated for any position, the endorsement shall be decided by a majority vote of all delegates present and voting in person or by alternate. All voting shall be by roll call. Voting by delegation is not permitted. The vote on any other question shall be a voice vote, except that a roll call vote shall be required if at least 20% of all delegates or alternates acting for their appointing delegates vote in favor of the roll call on that question. The eligibility of any person to cast a vote shall be determined by the temporary roll until the adoption of the permanent roll, after which adoption a permanent roll shall govern. Any dispute as to the credentials of any person shall be presented to the Credentials Committee prior to the adoption of the permanent roll. No person shall have more than one vote except the permanent chair, who may cast a vote to break a tie. This vote, if necessary, shall be in addition to any other voting rights such permanent chair shall have. Any delegate or any alternate acting for his or her appointing delegate who attempts to pass when called to vote in any such roll call shall be recorded by the Secretary of the Convention as absent and not voting. No delegate or alternate may cast a vote for any person not nominated and seconded. Any delegate or alternate attempting to vote shall be recorded as absent and not voting. No delegate recorded as absent and not voting and no delegate acting for any delegate recorded as absent and not voting shall be permitted to vote or switch on any ballot in which such delegate or alternate has previously been recorded as absent and not voting. Switching votes shall be allowed at the end of each ballot for which a roll call is taken, prior to the chairman announcing the results of such roll call. The chairman shall not announce the results of any roll call until all delegates or alternates acting for their appointing delegates who indicate a desire to switch their votes have been given the opportunity to do so. No action shall be valid unless carried out by a majority of all delegates present and voting in person or by alternate. If no candidate has received the majority on 3 roll call votes, there shall be no endorsement and the convention shall adjourn. Vacancy committee. The chairman must appoint a vacancy committee of 3 to 5 members. If the convention was contested, any candidate who qualifies for a primary should be represented on the committee. Certification. The permanent chair or the permanent secretary shall sign the appropriate forms to give them to the candidates and give them to the candidates. Candidates must fill the certification with the Secretary of State no later than 4 p.m. on the 14th of the following day of the convention. Roll call records. A written record of each roll call must be filed by State Central. Filed at State Central. These are the rules.
Thank you, Steve.
I'd like to ask for clarification, please. If and when is the permanent chair supposed to vote, allowed to vote? When is the permanent chair allowed to vote in this convention? There is a tie, so according to those rules, does that mean you cannot vote in the election project today itself?
No.
And where in the rule does it state that?
I'm a duly endorsed delegate. Okay. We're back to the nominations. Do I hear any nominations? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Aye. All right. You're taking nominations from the floor, Mr. Chairman?
Say that again?
Are you taking nominations from the floor?
Well, we're on this nomination right now. He was nominated and he was seconded. That's a legitimate nomination, right?
Right. Yeah.
Any other nominations?
Yes, I nominate Roman Qatar for Republican nominee for state representative. Roman has received endorsements from numerous candidates throughout the state of Connecticut, including our nominee for Lieutenant Governor, Senator Joe Markley, as well as our congressional candidate, Angela. He has come to this country in the last 8 years, a refugee from Bangladesh, political refugee, and he is living out the American dream the best way he can right now. 18 years old. He's someone we can be very proud of.
Thank you, Steve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I'm seconding.
All right. Multiple seconds.
Madam Witness on the floor. I'm seconding the Roman Cloninger nomination. Not only is he the future of the Republican Party, but has the time to commit to this journey. We have a Republican councilman at large position on our city council, which is way too important at this time, for his time to be split between the city, Hartford, and his own personal business. Our city is in a severe fiscal crisis, and the worst shape it's ever been. And we need our councilman at large to be 100% committed and dedicated to the citizens of this city. The citizens are going to feel like it's a slap in the face to them if he takes on this role. Our citizens deserve better than that. We need to make sure that they know that our Republican councilman at large has their back. We're counting on him to do what's right for the people of the city, what's right for this town. We need him to be 100% committed. So please consider Roman, the Rominator, Cloninger, for this convention. Thank you.
This time I'd like to have a public roll call of the delegates. Meeting is adjourned.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh,
You didn't follow the rest of the rules. There's an option in there for switching votes.
Okay, you're right.
You have, Mr. Chairman, the secretary now casts one vote for the individual who received the most votes in the nomination process.
Meeting is adjourned.
This is the first nominating committee convention that the nominee didn't get up to give an acceptance speech or talk about what he's going to do or anything. Nothing at all.
This was such a joke.
This was really poorly done.
Totally disgusted with everybody in here.
All right.